Now, you're a rock star. Oh my god, sorry. Happy Wheels today. Cool. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be playing this game. And that's because I haven't played the game. No. Just accept your death. Hey, don't smack me in my face when I've died. Don't. So yeah, we're gonna be playing this game. And then we might play some Roblox. And make some YouTube. This might be a 1 hour video, not boredom. So yeah. Don't kill me! Oh! I broke my leg. I broke my leg. Trim it. No! Just don't die, don't die. No, 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 no! Hey now, get your game on. Don't die now. Ow! No, don't die. Help! I got on this little. I'm stabbing myself. Don't hit me. Ow! That actually hurt. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on. I don't get the meaning in life. People say do not try to die. And I have to restart. Oh no, not the ad. Crap. Ew, you. Okay, we're back. Don't kill yourself. Ow, my face. Ow, my head. No! Don't hit yourself on the head. Ow! Boink. I broke my leg. That's a new world record. Ow! Now I broke both of my legs. No! Not again! No, no, don't kill me. Don't hurt me. Don't fall again. Don't fall. Ow! At least I gotta sit up. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on. Don't kill yourself. Oh! Don't die. Always survive. Don't lie. Don't try. Don't fly. Don't die. Don't hop. Okay. Hey now. I do that when I'm scared, okay? My guy! You can't go through that. I just became some spaghetti. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on. Don't kill yourself. That is the first lesson. Don't go away for too long. Don't go away. I made a cup of coffee for your fire. Get you up and all. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Don't die. Don't kill your. At least I'm still hanging. Don't hit that. Hi, yay! My toe, my toe, my toe. No, no. Ah! No. Don't die, don't die, don't die, don't. Ah! No, I forgot. Don't kill yourself. Don't die. Down, 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 down. Hello. Oh no. Oh no. Hello. Who's there? Oh no. I can't get. Hello. Oh my god. We're back. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on. Oh. don't die, don't. That was the best idea I ever had in centuries. Hey, who needs legs? That was the most. Don't die, don't lie, don't fly, don't go up high. Don't die, don't try. I hope you survive. What was that? This is as far as I got. So I do not know nothing. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on. Hey, don't mind the screams and tries of escape. No! I got turned into spaghetti. Smush spaghetti. Don't die, don't. No! My neck. Okay. Don't kill yourself. Sorry. Don't fall. Each one of these games are gonna be for 20 minutes. Only one of them. No, I let go. Don't fall. Don't die. Don't try. You're missing your arms, but that's okay. I gotta lose my legs on the way. And now, you're a rock star. Get your game on. Hey! Everybody needs to lose their legs. Oh my god, they're about to end up dead. Y'all just saw that, right? Y'all saw that, right? What the? Some YouTube. And I didn't even touch that. Alright, nope. Nip, hip.
I, Amanda Green, with this contract.
So I turn to Bianca and I'm like, where are we? And then she looks at me and is like, didn't you know San Francisco is totally like the gayest city in the world? So then I'm like, oh my god.
You messed
My
up.
first time in San Francisco. This is one of my favorite memories, man. I have never thought about this story and not cracked a smile, which to a lot of people, if they look at what happened during the trip, they wouldn't get it. But I'm getting ahead of myself, man. So let's take it back, shall we? It's the day before Halloween 2016, and at this time I was still living with Q. If you don't know who that is, make sure to watch my last animation, The Friend I Betrayed. Bianca was still around as well. Watch the I Wasn't Ready to Be a Dad video if you don't know who she is. So Bianca comes into the room and was like, hey, do y'all want to go to a Halloween party tomorrow night or what? And me, being a turn-up connoisseur, my obvious answer was yes. And Q, always being down for a good time, also said yes. So then she was like, yes, okay, great. Pack your bags because we're leaving at 5 in the morning. So then I'm like, skirt. What you mean 5 in the morning? Well, pack our bag. Why we gotta pack our bag? What are you talking about? So she's like, chill. It's at UC Berkeley, which is like 8 hours away, so chop. So then I'm like, oh, well, in that case, fuck that. Girl, is you crazy? And who you telling to chop? Why would I drive 8 hours for a Halloween party? So then she's like, Don, stop. Why you gotta be such a dick?
Come on.
You've never been to San Francisco. You can't live in California and never visit San Francisco. Come on, don't you want to see the Golden Gate Bridge? So I'm like, 1, yes I can, and 2, I've seen the bridge. Okay, Full House was one of my favorite Nick at Night shows. I've seen the bridge. Listen, if Q wants to go, then I'll go. Q, you want to go? Yeah, dude, sure, whatever, I don't care.
The 8. Dang, I'm sore.
We went to San Francisco. 8 hours we had to drive from San Diego to San Francisco. And I probably would have went insane during the trip if it wasn't for my boy Q. Because halfway through the trip, he leans over to me and was like, hey bro, you trying to hit this magic? So then I'm like, bro, Wingardium Leviosa, my G. So after a couple of hocus pocuses, Q and I weren't even in the car anymore. We were on a magic carpet, my G. Bianca, of course, was driving and was also being a baby. So she passed, but Q and I were flying, my G. So fast forward and we finally arrived in San Francisco. And the first thing I noticed as we approached the heart of the city was that in the middle of the city, overlooking all of San Francisco, was the biggest and the gayest flag that I have ever seen in my life. And by gayest, I mean there was literally a humongous gay pride flag flying over the city of San Francisco. So I turn to Bianca and I'm like, yo, where are we? And then she looks at me and is like, didn't you know San Francisco is totally like the gayest city in the world? So then I'm like, so now I'm looking out for gay, because when someone drags you to the safari, you expect to see a couple giraffes and shit, so, yeah. Anyway, Q and I are still heavily enchanted, and now the magical munchies were in full effect. So we look around for the closest food store, and there happened to be a coffee shop. Bro, I got this vanilla mocha latte thing. This was the best cup of coffee I have ever drank in my life. I have ordered this exact cup of coffee dozens of times before then, and I don't know if it was the magic or the crisp San Francisco breeze, or if San Franciscans are just 10 times better at making coffee. But this was the best cup of coffee I have ever had, my G. I think about this cup of coffee at least twice a week to this day. It was so good that while I was drinking it, I seriously thought about just jerking off right there on the sidewalk, like a crazy person, okay? It was that good. I felt like I was supposed to bust a nut by the end of the cup. I could spend an entire lifetime trying to recreate the moment I took that first sip and would fail miserably for the rest of my life. Have you ever had an experience with food like that? It was perfect, my G. So we leave the coffee shop, and the first thing we run into was a dude geeked out of his mind. Like, right after we got the coffee, there was just this one homeless guy just slumped over, standing in the middle of the sidewalk, drooling on himself. And all I could think was, yo, he must have had some of this coffee and couldn't handle it. Poor guy. But I completely understand, bro. So we walk around some more, went to the stupid bridge, and it was a bridge. It was red. Cool. Like I said, full house. So not impressed. And then finally, as night befell the city, we went to UC Berkeley. Turns out, though, Bianca didn't really have a plan for how we were going to get into these frat parties. Oh, yeah. They were frat parties. Surprise! I mean, she could have got in because, she was a girl. But Q and I got rejected every time, because it's a frat party. To get in, you gotta know somebody in the frat. If you're a guy, their whole thing is trying to get as many hot girls into the party so that the frat guys can play Thomas and Friends with the girls. So we just ended up walking around the campus in our last-minute costumes, and then we went back to the hotel we booked for the night, and that was it.
Dipbank can help you ride these waves. Resilience will.
The end.
That was
Touching back on the first one I made in the video is, if you look at this story,
was it worth watching?
to school the next day, and I'm not thinking anything of it. Fast forward to the end of the day, who else do I see marching up me with the blazing hot rage of 1,000 suns? Boo Thang Baby Girl sang. She walks up to me, and I instantly knew that she was pissed. Hey, Sam, what's up? She says to me, I back into 8th grade when I was just 13 years old, I caught the attention of these two older girls, Sam and Nicole. They were at least a grade or two above me and apparently had no hesitation in letting me know what they thought about me. It all started when they approached me one day during lunch. So what's your name? Simple question. Innocent enough. So I gave him my name, not thinking much about it. You know, it was kind of out of the ordinary for upperclassmen to approach a lowerclassman like that, but I chalked it up to them just being nice. Whatever. So time went on, and I'd occasionally run into them during school. And whenever I did, they'd always do the same thing. They'd shoot a, "Hi, Donald," through the air, landing straight in my chest every time. And then they'd giggle to each other and walk away. I never quite understood what was going on. I didn't know them. We had no mutual connections. But I knew that I appreciated the attention. Now, they didn't leave a nigga in the dark for long. One day, they come up to me and start up some small talk. Me never shying away from an opportunity to talk to a cute girl, much less two of them things, I entertained the conversation. Eventually, they cut to the chase. According to them, your boy was high-key cute. Now, this is way before your boy even had a drop of sauce, my G. Hashtag what is self-confidence? So a compliment like that had a nigga floored. Then, they both decided to give me their numbers. Now, this is where a more seasoned shinobi of the sauce would instantly recognize the problem with this equation. But unfortunately, that wasn't me. I gladly took both their numbers and gave them mine. So I went home and your boy's feeling like he won the lottery, right? I mean, you're trying to tell me that two cute-ass older girls want to talk to me? For sure. Now, I had damn near zero experience with women at the time, so I didn't know how to approach a situation. With no experience and no guidance, I applied my 13-year-old boy logic. I thought to myself, both of these girls are obviously best friends.
And I did not know there would be cussing, so I'm sorry.
Both of these girls clearly like me, and both of these girls gave me their number. Therefore,
Okay, I'm trying my best to be
they must both want me to spit game at them. So off to the races I go. I start texting both of these girls. At first, just be a small talk, you know, just feeling them out, waiting to see which one of them would show interest first. Eventually, that person was Sam. Now, in all honesty, I was much more into Nicole than I was into Sam. I just thought she was cuter. Pretty shallow standards at 13. But beggars cannot be choosers, my G. So once I realized that Sam was more down for the cause, I started to focus all my attention on her. So you know, a day or two goes by and we're flirting back and forth, pretending like either one of us knows what the we're doing. When little shawty Nicole hits me up. Okay. So now Nicole is starting to send me some flirtatious vibes, which was dangerous. Not just because I was already talking to her best friend, but because it doesn't take that much to enlarge the head of a 13-year-old boy. All this unearned attention from these two girls made me go from feeling like a kid who didn't have even a quarter of the confidence that I would have needed to approach either of these girls to feeling like a nigga was a young Casanova. So now I'm flirting with both of them, right? And I'm pulling out all the cards. Vocab on flex, my G. I hit one of them with some like, "Good morning, gorgeous. I just wanted to let you know that your face is absolutely enchanting. You radiate beauty from..."
You say that, you get them hands.
"the depths of your core, and I am absolutely intoxicated by your very presence." And remember, this is way before smartphones.
Use about to go down because someone.
Where you had the whole keyboard to work with. I had that T9 text on lock, my G. There was no copy and paste, so I would have to take the message I sent to the first girl, shake it up a little bit, hit up that young thesaurus, and send it off to the next one. And this was going on for a couple days, right? But eventually, it got serious. Because as I have found with every girl that I've ever spoken to on an intimate level, it's only a matter of time before they hit you with that verification question. And at the age of 22, that question is, what are we? You know as a dude, when she starts hitting you with that matter of time before they hit you with that verification question. And at the age of 22, that question is, what are we? You know as a dude, when she starts hitting you with that,
like, what?
you are on borrowed time, my nigga. Because you got about 3 what are we's to decide whether or not you want to be in a serious relationship with this girl. Lest you risk her pulling some, "Oh, well, since I'm not your girlfriend, why shouldn't I talk to other niggas" type. What are we is her way of verifying your level of commitment. When I was 13, the verification question was, do you like me? But unlike what are we, this is a yes or no question. Much harder to finesse an answer. With what are we, right?
I would say me.
Just be
I
honest.
said
You can pull
me.
some BS
But
answer
if
out of
you
your
do not
ass.
know
Buy
why
yourself
you're,
some
and
time.
you'd say,
Can't do that. Do you
no
like
or
me?
no.
That is a
It's like
black
no,
and white question with a black and white answer. So Sam hits me with the verification question, and me not wanting to put all my eggs in the Nicole basket, I say yes. Now, at the time, I wasn't aware of how much
messed
weight
up.
that question held. Because
'Cause
at 13,
the
it is in
beginning said Sam was walking towards him. What do you think Sam's about to do? Be
at the same level of verification as what are we at 22. Once you say yes, you are in, my nigga. You are now a school couple, and even texting another girl might as well be cheating and grounds for having your eggplant decapitated. So as far as Sam...
hip. If you don't know what that means, good for you. If you do, then what are you doing with your life? Okay, I'm just kidding. But why?
was concerned, I was now her boyfriend. But as far as I was concerned, I was still trying to pit the lot to Nicole's heart. So the evening continues, and I'm still spitting game to both of them, as per usual. Then at some point in the night, complete radio silence. Wasn't getting any response from Sam, wasn't getting a response from Nicole. So of course, being 13 years old, I probably just called it a day and went and played Pokemon or something. The truth is, I was just having fun with the situation, to be honest. I couldn't believe that this was even happening, period. It's not like I was really invested in either of these girls. I had never kissed a girl at this point. You understand? Just the thought of having to hold a girl's hand back then made my heart sweat. It's not like I thought anything was ever gonna go anywhere in any real way with either of these girls. It was just really interesting to me, the whole trying to win a girl over with words. So anyway, I get to school the next day, and I'm not thinking anything of it. Fast forward to the end of the day, who else do I see marching up to me with the blazing hot rage of 1,000 suns? Boo thang baby girl sang. She walks up to me, and I instantly knew that she was pissed. I'm like, hey Sam, what's up? She says to me, to be honest, I really like a girl and her name starts with N. Okay, remember how I said I was texting both of them the night before? The night before, Nicole asked me if I liked anyone. And then I replied by saying, to be honest, I really like a girl and her name starts with N. Listen, nigga, I was 13. Shit sounded a lot more Casanova-esque in 2008, okay? So apparently after I sent that, the girl started talking, had an Usher R. Kelly same girl.
Nip, hippity, nop.
She looks at me and says, I f***ing hate you, and I am this close to punching you in your face. And then she walked away, and I was just standing there, just for a little bit. And then I went off and played basketball, nigga. Like I said, it wasn't even the highlight of my day. I was not emotionally invested in this whole ordeal at all. It was just really weird, honestly. It did, however, cause this awkward tension between us. So we ended up avoiding each other at all costs for like the next 3 years. Fun fact, 3 years later, she was my girlfriend again for like 2 weeks. It was weird. Moral of the story, if you're gonna... So my mom and I are practicing, right? But like I said, I wasn't ready. I wasn't mentally prepared to handle this kind of stress. So I'm getting all my words wrong. And my mom wasn't looking too happy about it. So I start breaking down because I'm thinking, God, oh man, she really gonna beat my ass.
8.12.
And in it, he talks about how much he sucked at spelling as a kid. And because of that, he was given easier tests than the rest of the class and was also put into some special needs class where he got extra attention so that he could get better at spelling and reading. And I'm sitting there listening to his story, and I'm just like, what? Because here's the thing. I also sucked at spelling as a kid, okay? But, that's not how that shit went for me, man. Like James, I was also terrible at spelling at the elementary school level. I'd have weekly spelling tests, and I would religiously fail every test. And I mean
The only thing I'm bad at would be
like 2 out of 10 on a
or-
good day. And just like James's
like
parents obviously were, my
science.
parents also cared about how I was performing in school. But unlike James's parents, my parents were, how do you say, oh yes, black. And not just any kind of black, okay? Caribbean black. So what does that mean, Don? It means ain't no black Caribbean parent worth their salt gonna let some lady from school tell them that their kid is special needs, okay? And listen, I ain't trying to bag on special needs kids,
No,
okay?
thank you
Just
for that.
because you're special needs doesn't mean you're stupid. The odd one's
Of
out,
course
for
I know what that
instance,
was.
very smart dude, but thinks he probably has dyslexia, a very real condition that makes reading and spelling very hard. Has nothing to do with how intelligent you are. But, that shit don't work in Jamaica, man, where I'm from. That's just not the culture over there. In Jamaica, special needs pretty much means handicapped. Handicapped, sorry. At least that's how it was when I was a kid. If you didn't have like an obvious mental disability like severe autism or Down syndrome or something like that, if you weren't doing well in school, as far as the average black Caribbean parent is concerned, you's just being lazy. You're not trying hard enough. Ain't no ADHD or dyslexia in Jamaica. If you even say the word dyslexia to a Jamaican parent, they're just gonna say bless you. Followed by cover your mouth when you sneeze, you nasty ass mother. So, this begs the question. Say the word dyslexia to a Jamaican parent, they're just gonna say bless you. Followed by cover your mouth when you sneeze, you nasty ass mother. So, this begs the question. Say the word dyslexia to a Jamaican parent, they're just gonna say bless you. Followed by cover your mouth when you sneeze, you nasty ass mother. So, this begs the question, how word dyslexia to a Jamaican parent, they're just gonna say bless you. Followed by cover your mouth when you sneeze, you nasty ass mother. So, this begs the question, how then were my parents going to get me to go from failing every test to getting the minimum grade requirement for any Caribbean household, which is 100%? Well, my dad, being a truly brilliant man, came up with a very effective technique. He would beat me. Yeah, he would beat me for bad spelling grades. Now, listen, my dad is a great man, all right, and a great father. I don't want y'all thinking he was like abusing me or whatever. See, there's an art to beating your child, okay? And my dad was a young Picasso with the belt. My dad spanked me with the same approach that a circus ringleader trains a lion with a whip. It's more about the fear of the belt itself and not actually the pain of being hit. He wasn't leaving bruises or any crazy shit like that, okay? But I digress. The arrangement went like this. Every time I took a spelling test, for every word that I got wrong, I would get one lick. A lick is basically when you hold your hand out and get slapped in your palm with a belt. Now, even though I can say today that I don't believe I was ever abused as a child, back then, my perspective was a little different. At the time, I was extremely traumatized by the whole ordeal, okay? There was this one moment in particular that is permanently seared into my brain. Alright, check this out. So my mom and dad were divorced, right? And they weren't all that good at communicating with each other, obviously. Thus the divorce. So my mom didn't know that my dad had employed this negative reinforcement technique to make me a better speller. So one Saturday morning, after a couple weeks of getting my ass beat for spelling tests, my mom ambushes me while I'm watching my Saturday morning cartoons. I'm sitting there, right? Straight, chilling, eating my Fruity Loops. Not Fruit Loops. Fruity Loops.
What?
Off-brand. I'm watching like Ed, Edd n Eddy or something, right? My mom comes up to me and is like, okay, Chris, go get your spelling book. It's time to practice your words. I'm like, what? Mom, not right now. Because I wasn't ready. My mom had never practiced my words with me. It was always my dad. So it caught me off guard. My mom's like, Chris, go get your spelling book, okay? I'm not going to ask you again. So I go get my spelling book with all my words, all right? My mom and I begin to practice. So my mom and I are practicing, right? But like I said, I wasn't ready. I wasn't mentally prepared to handle this kind of stress. So I'm getting all my words wrong. And my mom wasn't looking too happy about it. So I start breaking down because I'm thinking, God, man, she really gonna beat my ass. Now, my mom ain't the type of woman to spank her kids for something like that, but I'm thinking that my mom and my dad were still on the same team, at least when it came to this shit. So I'm crying, right? And my mom's getting mad because she thinks I'm crying for no reason. She didn't know that my dad had been training me like a circus lion. But, of course, I'm her little baby, alright? So she looks at me and says, Chris, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do one more word, okay? If you get this word right, we'll stop. So now I'm like, okay. She says, spell away. I'm like, okay. Oh?
You
No,
don't.
son, sound it out for mommy, okay? Okay, I'm sorry. Listen. A way. Okay. E.
Yo!
You see, at this point, it's too late. It's too late. I was already too worked up to spell properly. I couldn't think. So my mom's like, Chris, look, you can do this. Spell A. I'm like, A? She's like, good. See? Now spell way. I'm like, W. Uh-huh. A. Uh-huh. Why? She's like, yes, baby, see, look. Now, spell a way.
Don't do it. You mess up on this one.
If you vape, you could be inhaling toxic metals into your lungs.
You could, wait.
I can't do it. Why are you doing this to me, Bobby? Oh my God. Yeah. I'm an idiot. I started bawling, man. I can't even get words out. My mom's like, why are you crying so much? Well, I can't even tell my dad because I'm crying too much to even use words, dog. So then she closes the book and hugs me and says we don't have to do any more spelling. So yeah, that happened. But my dad would still be my bad spelling grade. So yeah, I don't think my mom ever found out. But I tell you what, it worked. Because by the end of the year, boy, I was getting 100 on every spelling test. If I had dyslexia as a kid like James, my dad beat that junk out of me, man. Hit my ass so many times, letters started lining up and words started making sense. Yeah, that's how my dad fixed my spelling. Moral of the story.
You guys scared like I was. No. Nip, nip, hippity, hip. I broke her
So
heart.
then my classmate was like, oh man, that's not what everyone else is saying. So I'm like, what is everyone else saying? Mr. Hines? I turn around and there she is, the vice principal, Miss Appletree, which is what we're going to call her, of course. Mr. Hines, may I please have a word with you outside? Instantly, I myself because this woman was terrifying, like genuinely a scary person. So before we start today,
No! Shut up. Shut up.
Might as well say the
Shut
Soft
up.
Squad because. And
Shut up.
Here, good.
Do I care? No.
There was a part 2 to their stories, and I'll link to it on the screen and in the description. So go ahead and watch it if you haven't.
I am
It makes this
it.
video a
No.
lot better. But I'll give you the Spark Notes version.
You don't
One
shut
day
up, I
he
swear.
decided to roast me. He said I had a big head or something like that, which, although true, still pissed me off. So I decided to get my
I
revenge.
broke her
How
heart,
so, you
so they
ask?
broke my
Well,
sword.
Jeff had made it very public that he was in love with this girl in our class named Mary. So I was like, skirt, you done fucked up. I'ma take your girl, boy. So you know, I put on my young suave real quick and I was like, hey Mary, wanna be my girlfriend? And then she was like, okay. Because that's all it really takes to get a girl when you're 8. Anyway, we started holding hands and shit, you know, made Jeff jealous and mission accomplished, right? Not quite, because now I had a different problem. For some inconceivable reason, Mary somehow thought that I liked her, right? I don't know how. Whatever. Okay, so I'm like, no, baby girl, my sweet Mary. You were merely a pawn, a small cog in my machine of revenge. That is all you ever were to me. If you can't tell by now, this is one of those stories where something bad happens to me and I deserved it. Anyway, I start trying to dodge her, right? Eventually, I face the music, and in front of the entire playground, I basically broke up with her, told her that I didn't like her. She ain't like that too much, understandably, so she gave me my nuts. Yeah, she told her that I didn't like her. She ain't like that too much, understandably, so She kicked me in my nuts. Yeah, she kicked me in my nuts, and that was the end of the video. 2.3 million views. Beautiful. So here's what happened next. Oh my fucking God. Mary! What the fuck was the sentiment that I'm sure I wanted to express after managing to stand up after being kicked in the dick? But I'm sure what I actually said went more along the lines of, ow, ow, that hurt. That's probably all I said. Anyhow, Mary turns around and is like, what? And then I said the most gangster that 8-year-old Don Hines could think of. I'ma tell on you. And then she was like, huh? And then I was like, I said, bitch. I didn't say bitch. I'm gonna tell on you. And as soon as your dad comes to pick you up, I'm gonna tell him that you kicked me in my nuts. And as soon as I said that, Mary's whole vibe took a complete 180. She was like, Donna, where you at? You can't do that. If you tell my daddy, I'm gonna beat me. And then I was like, yeah, that really sounds like a you problem right about now. Mary looks at me and she just starts to cry. Like real crying though. Like she was doing the whole you know that ugly ass sound that kids make when they cry? You know, before they learn how to bottle up all of their emotional pain and just shove it deep down and just keep it there until it manifests itself as some self-destructive behavior like drug addiction or binge drinking. You know, like how an adult is supposed to deal with their problems. That scene would have been a lot more dramatic if the glass fucking broke. Fucking bullshit. Of course it would break now, you mother. Still, couldn't give less of a fuck. Like, did she really think that I would care? All of our parents hit us. I mean, how else is a grown adult supposed to handle their frustration with their small, young, immature child that has literally no life experience than to physically assault them? It's not like that's going to leave any lifelong emotional scars or dysfunction or anything like that. Anyway, I don't care. So I'm sitting on the bench, right, sipping on a bagged beverage. Just in case you didn't catch that, where I'm from, you can literally buy juice in a bag anywhere, which is probably my favorite way to contain all of my beverages. I wish they sold bag juice in America. It's so convenient. Bag juice in one hand, beef patty in the other. Getting hard. Pause. Anyway, so I'm chilling, right? And Mary is just having a fit. Like, she was really scared for her life, which, in hindsight, I think I get now. You see, like most people, my parents spanked me as a child, but they never really abused me. Like, I'm sure my dad would spank me with like 10% of his strength, just enough to get the message across. There are actually parents that hit their children with their full adult strength. And Mary was Indian Jamaican to be exact, and I've had a few close Indian Jamaican friends, and based on their stories, apparently their parents do not play around with the belt. Now, I don't know if this was the case for her or if she was just being extra, but based on her behavior, you would have sworn that she knew for a fact that her father was going to murder her. Still didn't really care. I just wanted to give you the full context of the story. Anyway, so as I'm waiting for her father to arrive, my dad shows up. Shit. Well, down the drain that plan went. I hopped in my dad's whip, and he took me home. And of course, I didn't tell him because I wanted the most bang for my buck, and I knew my dad wasn't going to strike the fear into her soul like her father was going to. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just let it go. Again, I was a piece of shit, and if that's what you're thinking, I agree with you. So I go home and fast forward to the next day, and it is a brand new day, baby. My nuts had made a full recovery. Probably had my favorite school morning breakfast. Boiled hot dogs, fried eggs, fried plantains with some white bread on the side.
Where did you get this from?
Terrible nutrition. Tasted great though. We didn't know better. Fast forward and I'm getting dropped off at school, and I was late because that was just my childhood. All right, we're not
Mr.
gonna get into this right now. I was just late a lot, so I'm walking into class, and everyone's of course already seated, and I noticed that everyone was kind of staring at me funny. So I'm like, all right, y'all just gonna be weird. All right, so I sit down, and then one of my classmates turns to me and is like, Don, what did you do to Mary? So I'm like, huh? What you mean what I do to Mary? I ain't do shit to Mary. I mean, yes, I did technically break her heart, destroy her fragile childhood self-esteem, and embarrass her in front of all of her peers on the playground. But, you know, I ain't do shit to her, technically. So then my classmate was like, oh, man, that's not what everyone else is saying. So I'm like, what is everyone else saying? Mr. Hines?
Oh,
I turned
God.
around, and there she is, the vice principal, Miss Appletree, which we're gonna call her, of course. Mr. Hines, may I please have a word with you outside? Instantly, I shit myself because this woman was terrifying.
Forget you are. Mr.
Like,
Hines.
genuinely a scary person. For one, she was tall, which all adults look tall when you're 8, but she was like for real tall for a lady, and she was just scary, alright? She was just not a nice person. She reminds me of what a stereotypical Catholic school nun is supposed to be like in movies. Like, that was her in real life.
No!
I knew something. So
Do not see. Okay.
I follow her outside, and I'm already scared. Like, my eyes were already watery. My ears were hot. I was sweating. I knew something bad was about to happen. So, now we're standing in the middle of the playground, and if you were to look at a map of this school, it was actually very small. Like, there were 6 classrooms, the 2 bathrooms, the principal's office, and the playground, and like the cafeteria area. And we were standing dead center in the playground. Mind you, everyone is in their classrooms right now. So basically, every child could see and hear what was about to go down. So, can you tell me something, Mr. Hines? What is this that I am being told that you hit Mary? What? I get to school this morning, and the first thing that I am being told is that yesterday you hit Mary and made her cry. Now, I didn't know you like to hit girls, Mr. Hines. Wait, what? Whoa. I did not hit her. So tell me why she was crying and why I am hearing that you are to blame. So at this point, I was like, okay. I see what's going on here. This has just been some miscommunication, a little telephone game syndrome. I'll clear this up right away. Actually, Miss Appletree, I never touched Mary. In fact, Mary kicked me in the nuts. So that happened, and after she did that, I told her that I was going to tell her dad on her, and apparently she thought that he was going to hit her or something. So that's why I think she was crying. So you do like to hit women? Wait. Obviously, you couldn't hit her yourself, so you wanted her father to hit her. I'm not sure what's happening right now. You know, Mr. Hines, this is very disappointing. I thought you were a much better young man than this, but apparently, you are a woman beater. This conversation actually happened.
This will be me. I hate. No, hold up. I'm gonna just. The more annoying this sound. Do it. Get ass for it. Go down. Go down. Yes. Stupid. Window. Okay.
I shit you not. Now, unfortunately, when I was growing up, you were taught never to talk back to an adult, especially someone like a vice principal. So I just stood there and took this verbal onslaught from this scary-ass woman, just holding back the tears as my classmates watched in amusement. And I'm just there feeling like, what the fuck? Why is this grown-ass woman yelling at me, calling me a woman beater? I don't even know what that really means yet. Bitch, I'm 8. Why do I feel like she's projecting her own personal issues onto me? Also, why are we not addressing the fact that Mary kicked me in my nuts? Is that not worth mentioning? You're yelling at me for something that I didn't do, that she actually did. Why is that okay that she kicked me in my nuts? Is it because she's a girl and I'm a boy? That doesn't seem fair. Where's my ribbon? Where's my hashtag? Hashtag my dick matters, okay?
What?
Plus, we're 8, which basically means that we're practically the same physically. Same height, same strength, everything. If she took 2 weeks of karate class, she could kick my ass. What is going on right now? But anyway, Miss Appletree continues with her rant, and then she wraps it up with the typical, I don't want to hear about anything like this happening again with you, Mr. Hines. Do you understand me? So, of course, I was like, yes, ma'am. And then I went back to class where I had to sit in my shame for the rest of the day. That was fucked up. That woman should not have handled the situation the way that she did. Not with...
Dip ain't gonna help you ride these waves. The same as well.
How you got hair on your balls and you don't know how to swim? If I was in the ocean, am I hypothetical? So she's home all day having to deal with this. And if it's one thing that Jamaican women cannot stand, it's a weak man. So on one hand, she's sympathizing with me, right? She feels bad that her baby boy is heartbroken over his first real love. But on the other hand, right, she's like, hey, stop, right? Like, get over it. You're 17 and tall. Stop crying.
Actually,
In life, it's important to know who you are.
Yeah. Oh, what?
if you didn't understand me, then here's a fluent sentence. If you don't like Roblox, leave now. If you don't like cooking, leave now. If you don't like orders, leave now. If you don't like cylinders, leave now. If you don't like me, leave now. I'm here!
Ban feeling. Bro, now that you clicked this video, you literally have 2 seconds to leave a like and subscribe, or else you'll never get Robux in your life. Like, you'll never get Robux. So leave a like and subscribe. Oh, and video. Shout out to VQ. Oh
my god.
If I had him in the game with me, then it would be more believable. However, that is very true. But for this video, I'm not using him. Even though I'm literally in a call with him right now. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm deafened right now because I'm recording, but I'm in the Discord server, in the Club Iris infamous Discord server, and you're on the call right now. But he's not in this video, all right? Well, technically. Anyway, today I'm going to be pretending to be the owner of Club Iris, but this time I got a twist. If I do see an exploiter, because I did see an exploiter in my last video, I can actually ban them now. Like I can literally ban, like, bro, someone try me, bro. Someone try. I'm a real gangster now, bro. I want someone to try me. I can easily just ban them. Because, yeah, I have the power to do that now. So, anyway, let me just go ahead and switch servers, because this server already knows that I'm in here. Let me just switch servers, get to an...
Imagine this.
No. That just makes me in fear for years. I don't like. Let me say this. Imagine just pulling back your mouth. Not hippity flippity kippity.
Hey, really quickly, these are to make an extremely random, all over the place video about playing it. So this is actually a game that I used to play with all my friends, John and Ann included. Surprisingly, no one got kicked in the face. Anyways, click the eye in the corner to get that reference. Look at me using YouTube Studio correctly. The neighborhood I grew up in had a pretty big surplus of kids, and while I'm sure that was very, very annoying for some and very, very not annoying for others, it was great for us because we usually had enough players to split into 2 teams, which always made the games fun. Or the teams that didn't have me on them. Because my first time going out to play, I remember people arguing over who got to get me on their team, because ever since I started to grow in mid to late middle school, I was always just taller and bigger than my peers. To this day, I don't know why this is a thing, because I'm a walking contradiction. I'm big, tall, and playing the game of life on hard difficulty. And if someone were to judge me based off of stereotypes, they'd be pretty surprised to find out that I'm very much not athletic, like, at all, honestly. I have no clue why God made me like this.
Hey, what's up, racially ambiguous god that Johannes drew so that he wouldn't offend anyone? Hey, what's up, Asian Jesus? I'm just over here making another batch of humans, but look, look, this one's funny looking. I'm trying to mess with them. Check this out. Look. I'm gonna make this one tall, but I'm gonna give him a bad metabolism. Dude's gonna grow up built like a science beaker. Yo. Make him clumsy. I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna make him tall, clumsy, and black. hey, you might as well make him a slow runner too. Better not give this kid hopes of being an athlete. Tall, black, and unathletic.
I'm
Bruh,
gonna beat the
these humans are gonna be so confused. On God. On me. I'm gonna make this dude an artist. This man's gonna have tall people back pain and artist back pain. hey, for real. Let's at least make this guy extroverted and fun to be around so he's not completely useless. Dude, you're mean as hell. Basically, when people picked me, they got a slow, clumsy kid who didn't really know how to talk to people. You know, the exact opposite of what a football player is supposed to be. Yeah, almost any time I had the ball, that happened. But what I don't get is I couldn't throw very hard. So how was it that I was still managing to dent entire cars? Like it just seems that no matter how slowly the ball is traveling, when it makes contact with the bumper, it just does that. And honestly, anytime I wasn't trying to Street Fighter to a car, I always seem to make the mistake that no one playing street football should make unless they want the full, undying wrath of everyone within a 20 feet radius of them throwing the ball under cars. Honestly, because then you get into an argument about who has to get the ball from under the car, even though people are literally like 5 feet from the car, and they still feel the need to make you walk all the way from the other side of the lot just to get it. Like, honestly, it's really not that much of an inconvenience, but I get it. Let's be real. Who likes to get on all fours at a low angle on a street, especially if that street is on a more neglected part of town? Double, especially if it's night, finding the ball in these conditions is not ideal, man. And yes, we played football at night. That's so much more fun. There's a certain charm to playing football during the day and having so much fun that you don't even realize how dark it is. Memories, man. Imagine having a piece of leather flying in the air towards your face at Mach 5 and actually wanting to see it. Couldn't be me. Speaking of balls flying at my face, I'm not gonna lie, on the rare occurrences that I do actually watch football on TV, I actually forget how much a good quarterback contributes to the game. Because with us, we only got 3 types of quarterbacks. We have quarterback A. Hey, throw the ball, I'm open! The ball! Throw the ball! I'm open, I don't think I want... Yo, someone block me so he doesn't throw the ball. Please! AKA the guy that always throws the ball way too hard. Quarterback B. Hey, I'm gonna go deep. When no one's looking, throw me the ball. Got it. Okay. I don't think anyone notices me. Now I just have to make subtle eye contact with... Okay, Johannes. Are you ready? Yo, what is he doing? I am going to throw the ball. Nah, man, you ruined it. Yeah, bro. We definitely ruined their defenses. Good idea telling me to throw the ball to you if you go deep. Dude, no. I have 4 people coming for me now. Don't throw the... AKA the obvious quarterback and quarterback C. Hi, I'm over here. Hey, say less.
What?
AKA the guy with terrible aim. And another thing, I wanted to continue talking and screaming at this microphone, but I actually want to get this video out at a reasonable time, so I'm just gonna cut this video abruptly here. Yeah. Lyrical genius here. I am just filling the space with ad-libs. Yeah. Get on my face! Way to get it.
No, I just done this one because I don't want something. But
million likes on this video. Today to join us, right? And until next time, my brothers and sisters.
However, what I did have was a temper that was so hot that I would black out in rage. And this nigga just unleashed the fucking beast. Kevin, I am going to kill you. I am going to kill you. Once school was done for the day, you basically just hung around the campus doing whatever you wanted until someone came to pick you up. That is, if you didn't take the bus home, of course. On this day, I was chilling in the library because when I was 8, reading a book was actually a valid form of entertainment for a child. Now, I know what I just said might have just blown a couple fucking minds, seeing that I have a good amount of youngins that watch me. But yeah, when I was a kid, you didn't just have a phone, okay? And if you did, it didn't do shit. You know the phone app on your smartphone. When I was a kid, that was the entire phone. It could only do that. What that phone app does was all the things that all the phones did. You get that? They had like one game. I think it was like Snake or some shit, right? It was the only game on my phone, and that got old quick. And the internet, oh my god, the internet. The internet wasn't just this thing you had in your pocket. Like, you had to do the whole dial-up thing where you plugged out the cable from the landline and then you put it into your Oh shit. Do you even know what a landline is? Oh my. Anyway. So yeah, I was in the library reading a book, and then I noticed that it's getting close to the time where my dad will pick me up from school. So I exit the library, which was upstairs, and as I'm walking down the staircase, I see this other kid that we'll call Kevin. And he is bullying one of my friends, who we'll call Debbie. Now, Kevin was a known school bully. He was as dumb as a box of rocks. He was hella athletic, bigger than most of the kids in our grade, and he was the fastest dude on the track in our class. Basically, your average stock 4th grade bully. And he had the goofiest head-ass laugh. He even had those off-white Walmart brand dinner plate buck-ass teeth. This dude was obviously preordained by God to be a fucking dumbass. We actually had a history of fistfighting each other going back to the 3rd grade. So, in a way, he was kind of like my nemesis. I get down the stairs and I tell him to leave her alone. And he's just standing there with his dumbass laugh. But he backs off. I turn around to see how Debbie was doing, and not even 5 seconds after turning my back,
my guy's about to get knocked out. My guy's about to get
this punk ass nigga kicked me in my face when I wasn't even looking. See, I grew up without brothers or close guy friends, and my dad didn't live with me, so I never learned how to fight as a kid. However, what I did have was a temper that was so hot that I would black out in rage. And this nigga just unleashed the fucking beast. Kevin, I am going to kill you. I am going to kill you. I take off on this nigga, and instantly he starts to run away. And I mean, I am chasing this dude with 100% intent of beating him to a fucking pulp once I catch him. So round and round we go. I am chasing this dude with 100% effort, but no matter how fast I ran, he ran just that much faster. I could not catch this nigga. Eventually, after chasing him for probably a good 5 minutes, I got tired and I gave up. I was crying out of frustration. Everyone was looking at me with pity. And even though it wasn't a fair fight, in my book, I lost that day. Because that's how it works at that age. If you cried, nigga, you lost. But it didn't end there. You see, I still had an ace up my sleeve that Kevin didn't. I had a dad. That's right, bitch. Your dad left you and mine didn't. He probably won't beat your ass, but he'll do grown-up things and get your ass in trouble, bitch. And he did. I told on that nigga to my dad, and next thing I knew, he was suspended. I think. I don't remember how the conversation went down in the principal's office. All I know is that he got in trouble, and I didn't. Right as that happens, who do I see walk into the store? A fucking cop. Granted, he was a mall cop, so take that how you will. But I tell you what, though.
I think I slapped at you.
Because before I even had a chance to finish it, my mom slapped So this move here in America. Granted, it's 2020 and nobody leaves their fucking house. Everyone's just always on their phones. But, you know, at least the option is there. You know, you can go down the cul-de-sac and play with your friends. You know, and that is something that does happen in Jamaica. But my mom wasn't with that. You know, some would go as far as to call her overprotective. And during the holidays, they would try. We would go to the beach. You know, there are fun things to do in Jamaica. But during the school semester, your boy was on lockdown. You feel me? There was one place, though, that we would go that was just for fun, and we'd go very often.
That guy got smoked out.
And that was the movie. And this was one of those nights. This was one of those movie nights that I love. To this day, the movies is one of my favorite places to go. Now, I don't remember
a 3-hour video
watch, but
40-something minutes of me just
what happened
at the
before
mall.
the movie started. So we get our popcorn, get our sodas,
and everyone
candy, all the necessary tools of enjoying a movie.
And I got rid of the video.
So we make our way into the movie theater, and, you know, we're finding our seats. We find a location that seemed like
and you will never see
provide optimal movie view. So I go to sit in my seat, right? And as I'm sitting down, I fall through the chair. Turns out shit was broken. Now, remember, in one hand, I got a nice bag of popcorn. The other hand, I got ice cold soda. I have no hands available to catch myself. I was taken by surprise. I was ambushed by this movie theater seat. And in that moment of shock and confusion, I said a little something. You know, a little word slipped out of my mouth. The word I said was bumble. Now, bumble is actually half of a word. The entire word is bumbleclot. Now, this is a Jamaican swear word. In fact, I dare say, this is the Jamaican swear word. It's our fuck, you know what I mean? You can pretty much use it interchangeably with the F word. Doesn't quite work in every context. Like, you can't say bumbleclot you, like how you can say F you. But I don't have enough time to teach you how to use the word. Just know that this is a very serious Jamaican swear word. Now, if you can recall from like 30 seconds ago, I am in the middle of a packed movie theater with my black, Jamaican, Christian mother. Want to know why I only said half the word? Because before I even had a chance to finish it, my mom slapped the fucking shit out of my face, nigga. Open hand, finger spread. I only said half the word. Because before I even had a chance to finish it, my mom slapped the fucking shit out of my face, nigga. Open hand, finger spread. I think she might have had a ring on. I don't even remember, nigga. I didn't even see that shit. Just, pow, it was perfect execution, nigga. Like, complete. There was not 1 inch of unused surface area on her hand. Like, I could feel every individual finger just wrap around the contours of my face, nigga. Like, just perfect form. Even her follow-through was beautiful, nigga. It was as if Serena Williams herself had been coaching my mom on how to swing her arm to get maximum speed and power with the least amount of energy. It was so fast. And you think I'm exaggerating right now, but nigga, it was faster than a syllable. Do you get what the fuck I'm saying? That kind of reaction time belongs in the U.S. Marines, nigga. Like, that shit was crazy.
Really?
I'm in shock. She holds me by the collar of my shirt, and she looks at me. She's like, "Oh, what you just say?" I didn't say anything. Hold on. Is that idiot? Yeah, tell me. No, Mom, I said, and if you said the whole word, no, Maurice, better than that, you know, Chris. I embarrass you. I try to embarrass you. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Why are you raising your voice? Why are you rubbing your eye? Stop rubbing your eye. Because you hit me in my eye. Don't lie on me. I didn't hit you in your eye. It's It's not that bad. Just sit down and eat your popcorn. Stop crying. Sit down and eat your popcorn. I can't even see the movie. Then use your other eye. You're fine. Just listen, I love you, okay? Stop. Okay? You're okay, right? Here, have some soda. Here? You good? Okay. All right. Let's watch the movie. And then we just watch a movie. And that was it. I don't remember the movie. That's it. That's all I have. Faster than a syllable.
Hold up.
Please, there was not. I am in the middle of a packed movie theater with my Black Jamaican Christian mother. Want to know why I only said half the word? Because before I even had a chance to finish it, my mom the fucking shit out of my face, nigga. Open hand, fingers spread. I think she might have had a ring on. I don't even remember, nigga. That shit was so quick. I didn't even see that shit. Just pow. And it was perfect execution, nigga. The teacher asked us to get into this pose, which was essentially her trying to make me tear my asshole. That's literally the only way that I could possibly describe it. I had to enter the fourth dimension to prevent myself from ripping my ass as I assumed this pose. That word would be strange, and that's because this class made my body feel things that it has never felt before. And mind you, not in a good way. Let me explain. So I've been battling with some lower back pain recently, most likely because I spent the last 10 months logging 5 to 12 hours a day in front of my computer making these goddamn animations for y'all. Not complaining, just saying. So when a nigga asks you to like, comment, and share, it's the least. Growing up, I was a pretty good kid. You see, my parents got a divorce when I was pretty young. I think I was 4, to be exact. So I was pretty much raised by my mom. And my dad was and is still definitely in my life. As a kid, I saw him 4 to 6 days out of every week, more or less. But as most people know, when the parents split, the mom always gets the kid. Like for the dad to get the kid, he has to have his entire life together, be making a shit ton of money, and prove that he has more than enough time to attend to the children. And the mom has to be a crackhead. Then he might get the kids. And because of this, it feels as if you're raised by your mom. And you know what? That's how it's supposed to be. Because moms are built for this shit, okay? And don't get me wrong, I love my dad. And he's a good dad. He's a cool dude. But even the best dad can't hold a flame to an okay mom. I mean, if you want proof of this, just take a look at our culture around Mother's Day and compare it to Father's Day. You see, when Mother's Day rolls around, walk into any store, especially like a Macy's or a Target, and for as far as the eye can see, it is just nothing but mom propaganda. You got balloons and flowers and chocolates, and everything is being advertised as a great gift for mom. You could go to the hardware section of a Walmart and you will see a sign above the flathead screwdriver saying, "This would be a great gift for mom. I know she probably won't ever use it. But shit, nigga, she's your mom. And don't act like she didn't ask you 2 months ago to fix that cupboard." You know the one I'm talking about, nigga. The one with the wobbly ass door. Stop being a bad son and buy this shit for her. And fix the damn cupboard. Damn. And pull up your pants. Stop acting like she ain't raised you right with your Vienna sausage looking at neck. What? Oh, and the greeting cards aisle? Jesus, there will be an entire aisle dedicated just to moms because moms are awesome. They are the foundation to a good family. Dads, on the other hand, you walk into a store the day before Father's Day, and what do you see? There will be some small, pathetic, half-ass sign that was designed by an intern who's still in college and is just like, "Oh, don't forget, tomorrow is Father's Day," or something. Who cares, really? And then you look on the TV, and what are they advertising for Mother's Day gifts, right? They're advertising diamonds, flowers, and chocolates, and all kinds of shit. What do they tell you to get your dad? A cup. Get this nigga a cup. There you go, Dad. Congratulations. Here's a cup. Nice. So, as I was saying, I was pretty much raised by my mom, and my mom does not play. I learned from a very early age that I cannot fuck with my mom. She was not afraid to lay down that leather, if you know what I'm saying. So, growing up, I never gave my mom too many reasons to give me a spanking, but there are 2 occasions that I can vividly remember getting an ass whooping for. And this is the story of how I got the first one. So, my mom is a pretty understanding lady. She's intelligent and highly educated. So, she's in the type to just come home and be enraged and want to just beat the shit out of her kids for the slightest thing. However, there was one thing that would guarantee a proper ass whooping if you did it. And that thing was lying. My mom hates lies with a burning passion. Like, if you wanted my mom to just cut you off, just lie to her. So, see, my house. I'm somewhere between 5 and 7 years old, and I had recently started to use scissors. Another thing to know about my mom is that she's super overprotective. So, me getting permission to use scissors was a pretty big deal, okay? So, I had recently gotten a school project to work on at home, and it involved cutting out pictures and pasting them on a poster board. So, fast forward to the day before the project's due, and most of the work is done. So, I get home from school, and my mom's still at work, so I decide to continue working on the project without her. And seeing that I just got my scissors permit, I thought everything was fine. I got this. It's Gucci. So, I cut out some more pictures for my project, and everything was fine. Until I got bored. So I'm sitting there, a bored 5/6/7-year-old with a sharp pair of shiny scissors. Of course, I start walking around the house in search of something to experiment with. And not before long, I found my first and last test subject. At the time, I had an older cousin living with me, and she was either in her late teens or early 20s. I don't know, who cares? Anyway, she had a boyfriend who is now her husband. Sup, Peter? And he made a decent amount of money for his age at the time. At least that's what I want to think, because it makes what I'm about to tell you seem less of a dick move. So he had just bought her this nice fancy stereo, and I remember how cool it was when she got it. I see the stereo, and there was this thick black cord that ran from the stereo into an electrical outlet in the wall. That's what I decided would be the next best thing to try cutting. This is why I say I'm not sure how old I was at the time, because I love my cousin. I know what I'm about to tell you was not done because I had it out for her. I would also like to believe that I wasn't a fucking idiot as a child. That leads me to believe that I had to have been like 5 or something, but I can't see my mom granting scissors permit to a 5-year-old. Anyway, I take the scissors, I place the cords in between the blades, and I start trying to cut the cord. The plan was to make a small incision in the rubber casing of the wire. Why? I don't know. I really just don't know. I can't give you a real reason. It just happened. So here I am, I start trying to cut the cord, and it just won't cut. So I am applying all of the pressure I can, and then... Will 6-year-old dog cut the cord? Will his mother come home and beat his ass? Find out this and more on the next episode.
I'll go.
If you haven't seen part 1 to this video, make sure to go and watch that video first. You can get...
Okay.
So I'm applying all of the pressure I can, and then... You see, at the time, I didn't quite understand how electricity worked. As it turns out, when you cut a wire that is plugged into a wall with metal scissors, shit happens. Sparks shot out the wire. I screamed, I dropped the scissors, and I dove onto my cousin's bed. I hear a few crackles, and then nothing. I look at the radio, all the lights, gone. I look at the wire, and all the rubber that encased the part of the wire that I cut melted. At this point, I start to worry, but I didn't quite shit my pants until I looked at the scissors. The blades were charred and blackened. So I leave my cousin's room, I sit on my bed, and I just start dying on the inside. Sometime after that, I hear my mom pull up in the driveway and I go outside to meet her. You know when people try to make things seem like everything is okay, but they end up trying too hard and they end up making it painfully obvious that something is wrong? I try to be slick and I tell my mom, "Hey mom, I cut all the pictures for the project while you were at work, so we don't have to use the scissors anymore." In my head, that was genius. But of course, my mom instantly knew that something was wrong, and it involved the scissors. So she sends me for the scissors, and I am just fearing for my life. I honestly thought that she might actually murder me. So I bring the scissors to her, and she takes a look at them and says, "What happened to the scissors?" In a final attempt to outwit my mom, my 6-year-old brain, we're going with 6, my 6-year-old brain comes up with this. I was walking past my cousin's stereo when I tripped and dropped the scissors and it fell on the cord and cut the cord, and then sparks flew and burnt the scissors. Go for the belt. Oh my god. So I go for the belt, taking as long as I could. And you know which belt to go for, because if you fuck around and get that flimsy belt, you know the ones made out of cloth, you're going to get your ass whooped twice as hard with your father's belt. So you go for one that's not too big, but you know it's still gonna hurt like a bitch. Anyway, I go for my belt and I hand it to my mom. Ow, mom, ow, ah, ooh, mom, ow, mom, mom, I'm sorry,
Yes. Yep.
What's up, fam? Thank you for watching yet another video. Make sure to like this video and comment below something you have gone.
Nip, hip, hip, hippity. You didn't see nothing.
This is a story about the time I almost got my ass beat over GTA. This story starts off with me and my dad. And technically my little brother and my little sister were also present in the beginning, but they're not important, so we'll just not in the story. So my dad just picked me up from school, and on the way home we stop at this beef patty place known as Mother's Beef Patty. Now, the beef patty is to Jamaicans what the taco is to Mexican. And I really can't describe what a beef patty is like because I don't know what to compare it to. It's just pure meaty deliciousness wrapped in a soft but flaky crust that is baked in an oven and served in a greasy ass paper bag. But honestly, the fact that it's a patty place is also not important for the story. So let's just make it a McDonald's because everyone knows McDonald's. Actually, scratch that. Let's make it a Wendy's because fuck McDonald's, okay? Nah, you got beef with McDonald's? Yeah, I got beef with McDonald's, but that's a story for another time. Anyway, so this Mother/McDonald's/Wendy's is just packed as shit, okay? People out the wazoo. You know, I've heard that phrase before, out the wazoo, but what is a wazoo? Let's take a look-see here. Oh. So this place is packed out of the anus, right? And because it's so packed, it was gonna be like a 30-minute wait to get our food. Well, it just so happens that right above the restaurant was an arcade/sports bar. So I asked my dad if I could go upstairs and play. He says, yeah, gives me some money for the games, and then sends me off. So I get to the arcade, and I know exactly what game I'm gonna play. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. You see, I was 12 at the time, and my mom didn't allow me to play games like that at that age. You know, because she loves me. So whenever I was out of the house and the opportunity to play said games arose, I did that. I put in my money and I start to play. Shortly after I started playing, this little kid, who could not have been older than 8, comes up to me and asks for a turn. So, me being the pushover I was at that age, I said okay. So there we are, me watching this kid play GTA on my time using my money. Then out of nowhere, another kid who was around my age pops up. Turns out this kid was Lil Dude's big brother. So Lil Dude dies, which means my turn now. So I take the controller and I start to play. And of course, soon after, I die because when you're 12 playing GTA in an arcade, you don't plan shit out. You steal a car, you run over a couple people, you shoot a bitch, bada boom, bada bam. You got 4 stars. Next thing you know, your ass getting dropped by the police. So I die, and then Lil Dude is like, my turn. Now, I had very limited time to enjoy this game, and I was fortunate enough to have a father to give me money to play said game. So I didn't really want to share, to be honest. So I turn to him and I say, hey, actually, I kind of just want to play this by myself. The big brother looks at me and then just says, no! Just like that. Just an outright rejection of what I had just said. And it's not just that he said no, it's the way he said it, as if I was asking him to do something outrageous. I mean, if I was like, hey, I know we're all having a good time playing this game, but here's what I was thinking. And I just want you to hear me out, okay? Okay. So how about, instead of doing this, what if we all just smoke some crack? See, if I had said that and then he was just like, no, then like I would say, hey, you know what? You're right. Totally get it. To be honest, I don't even know where to get crack anyway, because, you know, I'm 12. But that's not what I said, right? So I was thinking, whoa. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that this could be up for debate on account of the fact that I paid for it. So I quickly realized what was happening. I speak well, I have money for games, I have a father. This kid put all of this together, sized me up, and figured that I'm some soft-ass kid who came from some uppity-ass part of town who he can just walk all over. And you know what? He was right. And usually at that point, I would have just folded like a chair and been like, you know what? You're right. I don't mind sharing. But at that moment, every kid's show I have ever watched where they stand up to the bully flooded my mind, and I decided that I was going to stand my ground. So I say, no, I don't want to share. So leave me alone. He then says, give me the controller. And then I look at him. And with the coldest face that I have ever made up until that point of my life, I said, fuck off.
Anyone picking this up? I'm in here with my wife.
He's about to get knocked out. He's about to die.
Okay, that's a lie. That's not what I said. Well, those are the words I said, but that's not how I said it. Because that was my first time, okay? It was my first time ever saying that to someone in an aggressive way. So, like most first times, it was a little weird and a little awkward. Like I didn't know what to do with my hands. You know, do I use my middle finger for emphasis? What do? It kind of just slid out of my mouth. It was a little mumbly. It wasn't so much fuck off as it was more like, fuck off, man. Nonetheless, he received the message, and I gotta say, he wasn't much of a fan. So he responded by asking, what did you just say to me? And before I said it again, because, you know, now I had some practice, you know, I was definitely gonna nail it the second time. I looked him in the eyes and I just saw darkness. This kid may have been 13 at the time, but he had the soul of a 58-year-old alcoholic man whose wife left him and has been to prison twice for assault. I looked into his eyes and I just saw years of negligent parenting. Like, this kid had never been hugged in his life. At that point, I knew that if I said the thing that I just said again, I was gonna get my ass beat. So instead, I got up and I just left the arcade. Went back downstairs, found my dad, and just sat beside him until we got our food. And then we just went home. So that's the story. Moral of the story? I'm not quite sure. I don't fuck McDonald's, maybe? Yeah. And before she even responds, it happened. The shit timer countdown has officially commenced. Warning, you now have T-minus 6 seconds until the floodgates open. Proceed to the nearest toilet to avoid massive public embarrassment. This
This is how you can't.
Let me start off by saying a school fight like this probably happens once every 100 years or so in a school's history. I'm talking about multiple.
I'm right there.
We pull up to the park, and the first thing we see is this group of guys in fight mode. And you know fight mode when you see it. At the front of the group was Rivers, the same dude from my first high school brawl animation. He was in the middle of talking smack to this other dude that I didn't recognize, who looked like he just lost a fight.
Let's just cut to the part.
2 hours pass. 3 whole hours pass, my G. It's starting to get dark,
There's
and if you had
that
asked me at
really
the time, I ain't think another fight was gonna happen. So we're there shooting around, and then far off in the distance, my ears picked up on this low rumbling sound.
This is where it gets down.
We about to go smoke that, John G.
No, they could've stopped me. Big bags, I got racks up in my pocket. No care, I heard that they tried to stop it. Where they at? I just took out like a rocket.
That's
You hear
Woozy.
that? Yeah, I hear it.
So go say, hey,
What?
it's Woozy.
Is that? So 4 black cars pull up blasting the loudest, bassiest music that I have ever heard come from a car. Right away, I knew that this fight was gonna happen. She said, baby, you too cold for me. I got a bag now. Tell me, baby, don't you understand now?
Where the other brothers go?
We never stand down. Pull up so they look at what we have now.
Who got bopped? Someone just got bopped. Bippity bopped.
Ow. This one dude came up, ran up out of the car, sprinting. No questions, no conversation, and just punched the guy dead in the face. Knocked him out on contact, mind you. So Julian and I see this. Julian turns to me and is like,
I think we need to go home now.
yeah, this don't look good. So we start to walk away, not wanting to run and have these dudes think that we had any part of it. So we're walking away, we're hearing the chaos break out behind us, and then Julian's like,
Don, hold on. You gotta watch this, bro.
So we turn around and behold a massacre. Dudes are getting knocked out left and right. I saw dudes from my school that I would never mess with running away. Like there was true fear in their eyes. And then I saw a guy get hit with a bicycle, man. A bicycle. Someone picked up a random bicycle and threw it at somebody else accurately.
I was shocked. That was incomplete.
Yo, Don. You see that?
What? You think they're looking at us?
Yeah, pretty sure they're looking at us, bruh.
And of course, this mob of psychopaths set their sights on us and started sprinting towards us. So, what do you think Julian and I did?
We ran, boy!
We ran away, my G. We were not gonna try and fight all these demons by ourselves. You really thought that we were gonna stay and fight these guys?
I would have bounced.
We even roll it like that?
You're brazy, broski.
Nah, we ran, boy, and they chased us for like a solid 100 meters. But my Usain Bolt was in full activation, my G. So the next day, we showed up to school, and I saw one of the guys who got caught by the killers. And this was one of the hardest dudes I knew, but he had a black eye and a broken arm. But you know what? It made perfect sense. You want to know why? He was the guy that got hit with the bicycle. So, yeah. Girl, I always saw it like this. Boy, this so with these diamonds on my face.
I would have bounced. So yeah, that'll be it. I'm gonna beat it. Oh yeah, this will be the new video. I'm gonna beat the crap whoever says this now.
Bad stuff.